The founder of Posh instant porridge pot company Moma, who was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis (MS) in his early 30s, has opened up about the struggles of running his business while suffering from the condition. Tom Mercer, 38, who lives in Eastfield, London, started selling on-the-go porridge pots for hungry commuters from a converted filing cabinet because he never had time for breakfast as a busy city worker. After more than 10 years, he's turned his idea into the fastest-growing porridge business in the UK that has sold £10 million worth of porridge in the last year alone. With Moma pots stocked everywhere from Tesco to Whole Foods and even on EasyJet planes. But his success hasn't been easily won, as just a few years after he started his business, he received the devastating news that he had MS. Tom, a farmer's son from Staffordshire, told Female, "My first MS symptom was in 2010. When I temporarily lost part of my vision in one eye." MS is an autoimmune condition that damages the insulation around your nerves, which can cause all sorts of symptoms, from blurry vision and brain fog to loss of mobility and needing to use a wheelchair. I am extremely fortunate that my MS has been very mild so far. However, it's an unpredictable condition that can deteriorate quickly. Tom is now exploring new MS treatments, and even flew to Mexico last year for a pioneering new treatment called HSCT, which uses chemotherapy to wipe out an MS sufferer's immune system before rebooting it using stem cells. "One thing I experienced was brain fog. Particularly in winter, this is a common MS symptom and is essentially not being able to think as clearly as you should. It's very hard to quantify, as you're not sure how much of it is just tiredness. But it did impact me, and this was probably the thing that concerned me most on a day-to-day level. I didn't want to just manage my condition, but wanted to give myself the best chance of stopping it and even reversing symptoms. This is why I decided to have treatment in Mexico last summer. Since I've been back, I haven't had those brain fog moments. Whilst MSHASNT affected my mobility, I did have a flare-up of activity which meant I temporarily lost sensation in my right arm. This coincided with a team night out bowling and a dismal score of 30 due to a numb bowling arm. Despite his condition, Tom says he has never once thought about giving up on his business. "I've been fortunate that Moma is going well, even if it's been a long journey," Tom said. Tom was working for management consultancy firm Bain in 2005 when he started to get the urge to set up his own business. It's been an uphill battle to get it off the ground ever since. One of his biggest challenges was having his laptop containing all his Moma recipes stolen on launch day. However, amazingly, Tom managed to tackle the thief to the ground and take his precious possession back. Fed up at the lack of healthy on-the-go breakfast options and never having the time to make his own in the morning, Tom began blending his own oat smoothies and drinking them as he walked over Waterloo Bridge in London every morning to get to work. He started joking with his flatmates about how he could start selling them from stalls and train stations on their commute to work, and then realized that he could in fact turn this idea into a business. He started by filling old but clean water bottles with oats, yogurt and fruit before 7 a.m. and then giving them away to commuters in return for their email addresses. As soon as he got to work, slightly bleary-eyed, he asked the testers what they thought, but several didn't try them because they didn't trust the dodgy bloke. However, they all said that they were after an on-the-go healthy breakfast, so this time he decided to get a stall at a railway station to sell his healthy porridge from. After 3 months, he got a stall at Waterloo East Station and resigned from his job, using £10,000 of capital including his own savings to set up the business. Tom then converted an old filing cabinet into Moma's first train station stall, and bought an old BT for a delivery vehicle as well as kitchen premises in a railway arch in Deptford. Moma's launch wasn't plain sailing though, as on the day of launch, a thief stole Tom's laptop containing all his porridge recipes. But heroically, Tom managed to stop him. I gave chase, and, though admittedly he didn't see me following, I managed to bear hug him on Deptford High Street and rescue my laptop. The very next morning, on February 26, 2006, and after an all-nighter making products, we sold our first breakfast to a hungry commuter in Waterloo. The business grew, and quickly they had 9 stalls in London train stations. and also started to supply offices, airlines and supermarkets. MoMA no longer has train station stalls, but it has become the fastest growing porridge brand in the UK. However, Tom admits MoMA has had its fair share of challenges in the last 12 years. In the early days of the business, we grew really quickly, and scaling up the stalls was something we did too quickly. It meant that we were handling huge amounts of product daily. Needed extra staff to manage this, and, in turn, it wasn't a profitable model for us for the entirety of the first year. The product was all made in-house, which was logistically crazy and meant a lot of 2.30M starts. However, in the last year, MoMA has grown by 30% and is on track to make £10 million of retail sales this year alone, making all those early starts worth it.
Where the freaks at?